Hey, welcome everyone. Welcome. Happy Sunday to you. We're so glad you're here. I am Reverend Kathy Mastriani. I'm your guest minister of the day, while our beloved Revs Valerie and Michael are taking a day off, and they're modeling for us that positive, wonderful self-care.
I'm Sheila Fawson.
I'm Greg Fawson. We help with the broadcast.
And I'm Dr. Ernestina Garcia, and I do the readings.
Hi, my name is Raheen Quasi. I'm going to play some music today.
All right, nice to see everybody.
Yeah.
Nice. We're so grateful again. Everyone's here. If you're watching it live or if you're going to watch the recording, you know, these Sunday celebration services are a great restart button for our week and our days. And it means the world to have you with us. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to start with an opening prayer. So I just invite you to just kind of go within and close your eyes. And we're just going to let go of anything that's come before and just breathe in that essence and presence of spirit. Breathe in love and light and peace, the peace that passes all understanding. As we move into that beautiful space that's within each one of us, that stillness that's filled, overflowing with love, the love of spirit. Knowing that each one of us are divine emanations of spirit, we know that our time here is blessed. We know that each one of us is here by divine appointment for something wonderful and magical and joyful to happen in our lives. And as we open to receive the gifts of the music, of the readings, of the technology, of the service, we are uplifted and filled with joy. And so we bless Reverend Michael and Reverend Valerie on their time, knowing that they are relaxing and rejuvenating. And we just know our time here is blessed in every way. And we just anchor it by saying, and so it is.
Yes.
And so it is.
Thank you.
Here's the purpose.
Yes. And so we start with our purpose statement here at the Centers for Spiritual Living North Metro. The purpose of our spiritual community is to be a spiritual community, to be supportive to all who are seeking support, to practice and live unconditional love, to be non-judgmental and forgiving, to embrace oneness, to join all others who want to co-create a world that works for everyone, all cultures, all races, all sexual orientations, and all life. And so it is.
So it is.
So it is.
All righty, and now we're going to flow to some wonderful magical music by our friend Rahim.
Hi. Seaside Sunday, kites fly, kids play, side by side. Oh, how high kites fly. Reach for the clouds as birds dive down. Raindrops fall wind has a plan, no matter our hands. So pull it in, pull that string in. So pull it in and fly your kite again.
That was so lovely. Thank you so much, Rahim. I always get excited when you're here. Your music just takes you to that beautiful space of love and light. And so thank you for sharing that lovely song.
Glad it's received, and I appreciate your energy and time. Sharing.
Yeah, wonderful. I was so happy to hear you'd be here with me. So thank you. Nice. All righty. And so we're going to go to some announcements. Centers for Spiritual Living North Metro really can be your spiritual resource center. I encourage you to check out cslnorthmetro.org. There's on the website, there's all sorts of affirmations, spiritual mind treatments. Definitely like us and love us on Facebook and check in. It's just a great place that maybe you just feel like a need for a little spiritual pick-me-up. There's lots of resources. And if on your heart you need a prayer request, prayer is calling to you. There's a place where you can put in your prayer request and the reverends will come and respond and uplift you in their light. And so the links to the broadcasts are there as well. So it's kind of your one-stop shop. I would kind of bookmark cslnorthmetro.org for sure. Yeah, Reverend Michael is a wonderful blog as well. And the affirmations that you're going to hear about, you can find them on CSL North Metro. And the other thing is, if this service has touched you in any way, to support this lovely, sweet spiritual community, feel free to give from your heart. It's that law of circulation. As we give, so we receive. And as we receive, we give. It just circulates. And so we can use this as our metaphysical giving basket. And there's so many different ways to give on CSL North Metro for sure, but you can use Venmo or PayPal, credit cards, debit cards, checks. And so going to that website is helpful, but you can see the little Venmo code up there. Well, so I just invite you to we bless your offerings, we bless your participation in this community because we are here for you. And so we just know that all that we receive is brought back to you multiplied. So thank you for giving from your heart and supporting this community. And now we're going to have another lovely song with Rahim.
We are miracles. We are existence. And we are particles. And we are waves. We are thoughts. We are actions. Yes, we are dreamers, and we are dreams in this sea of life. Yes, sea of life in this sea of life. All we are friends, we are family, and we can be strangers and yet be one in this sea of life. Yes, this sea of life, in this sea of life, in this sea of life, yes, in this sea of life, oh, this sea of life.
Oh my goodness. I was floating in that sea of life for
Beautiful.
sure, Raheem. Oh my goodness. Ah, thank you so much. We just, again, so appreciate your bright light and your soulful music. It's just really creates the perfect service for everyone.
Oh, glad.
Yeah,
I
thank
just
you so
absorb
much.
it. I just absorb it, and then it becomes circular. Oh,
Absolute, right?
we affirm each other's existence, you know,
Yes.
and I love that. That means we're in the right place in the flow of, you know, being here now, you know, together. That's it.
Thank you. Exactly. Thank you. And now we have the honor of having Dr. Ernestina, who's going to share some very inspiring affirmations by Stephen Anthony and also doing a beautiful reading. So thank you, Dr. Ernestina. We love having you every
Oh,
week.
you're so welcome. And welcome, everyone. The affirmations for the week of August 24, 2025, written with love for all of us. Please repeat after me. I observe and accept the presence of God as all that exists.
I observe and accept the presence of God as all that exists.
Within me is the connection to all the love that the universe has to give.
Within me is the connection to all the love that the universe has to give.
I release all limiting beliefs that block me from my greatest expression.
I release all the limiting beliefs that block me from my greatest expression.
Can you guys hear me? My screen just froze.
We can hear you.
Okay. Did I leave or did you leave?
We're both here. And if you want to start with growth and expansion, you're good.
Oh, praise the universe. My computer's been acting up and it froze. And oh my God, thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be back. Okay. Growth and expansion are revealed to me with every beat of my heart.
Growth and expansion are revealed to me with every beat of my heart.
I relax deeply into the presence of perfect spirit.
I relax deeply into the presence of perfect spirit.
Clear intentions and open mind and a loving heart guide my life always.
Clear intentions, an open mind, and a loving heart guide my life always.
And together we say,
And
so it
so it is.
Okay, before I get started with the reading that was selected for us by Reverend Kathy, I just need to give a shout out to Raheem's music and the words. And it was so comforting. I can't say it enough. So now back to the reading. Okay. It's from the book, You Can Heal Your Life, from Louise Hay. In the the infinity of life, where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. And yet life is ever changing. There is no beginning, there is no end. Only a constant cycling and recycling of substance and experiences. Life is never stuck or static or stale. For each moment is ever new and fresh. I am one with the very power that created me, and this power has given me the power to create my own circumstances. I rejoice in the knowledge that I have the power of my own mind to use in any way I choose. Every moment of life is a new beginning point as we move from the old. This moment is a new point of beginning for me right here and right now. All is well in my world. And together we say,
And
so it
so
is.
it is.
And I
Amen.
just want to say thank you to Reverend Kathy for the selection and the music, because I need a restart and a new beginning. So, just amen to this service. That's all I have.
Thank you. You're welcome. And thank you, God, right? Because God has crafted this from the readings to the music. It's so perfect with the theme for today.
And I can hardly wait to hear what you have to say.
Yeah. As Ernest Holmes would say, me too. All right. So I think we have another song. And so we're just truly creating this atmosphere, the perfect atmosphere for our service today.
This song reflects in the theme of today's talk, in the whole mysterious concept of the more we seek, kind of the more we find, or the more whatever seeds we're planting is what's going to come up in our backyard. The more that I see life, the more that life can see me. So untie the binds that hold me down, so I can live 100 feet off the ground. The more that I see love, the ground. The ground.
Oh, thank you again. Oh my gosh. Again, what a beautiful flow, as Dr. Ernestina so beautifully articulated. Yeah, so thank you. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. And again, I just wanted to thank the Revs for this opportunity to be here today with Rahim, and grateful to Greg and Sheila, because a lot of times, like last week, I was the producer of the service. And so it's just truly an honor to be here to be your guest minister and to share this talk. And so our talk today, as Rahim alluded to, is the power of affirmative thinking. And literally, Dr. Ernest Holmes is kind of my co-pilot today. I am executive director of the Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, which is where I met Reverend Valerie and Michael 10 years ago. That's when Reverend Valerie started as our prosperity manager. And then I called it buy one, get one free. And so we got Reverend Michael as our volunteer. And he did so many things to preserve the history of Science of Mind. And so I'm going to start off here with some images, and we'll see if they touch you in any way. We're going to do this smoothly. We're just going to know smooth here. Alrighty. And so trusting you can see this. And so this is Jesus next to all the wheels that he has taken. Perhaps you have heard the phrase, Jesus, take the wheel. And maybe you gave him one or two as well. Sometimes this life can just get, so OMG, oh my God, that you just want, Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, anyone to step in and give you a hand. And then this is another image. I wrote a little song about my spiritual awakening. It goes, ah. And I like to add after that, Om. Oh. So when life just kind of takes you away, we can ground back in Om. There's no place like Om in our life and our world. But perhaps that's you right now in your life. Maybe there's something that you need a little grounding and some love and support. And the cool thing about this service, again, so with Dr. Ernest Holmes, he wrote this talk, and he did an audio recording that the archives, we had a lunch and learn where we listened to it. And it so touched my heart. I'm just like, I need to share this message with others, the power of affirmative thinking. And so since Dr. Holmes truly is, I work with him every day at the archives. I'm going to bring Dr. Holmes here, and he's going to share some words. He's going to start off our service today. So I invite you to use that energy that Rahim has created for us and move into your heart space and listen to Dr. Holmes start us off.
This audio comes to you from the Science of Mind Archives.
Good evening, friends. There is a power for good in the universe greater than you are, and you can use it. We all believe this. The question is, why don't we use this power more effectively? If all things are possible to faith, why don't we then have a greater faith? And if affirmative prayers are answered, why don't we always pray affirmatively? Now let's try to figure out just how we can better cooperate with this law of good, which does things to us and for us.
And so the main 3 points that Dr. Holmes will talk about, or that I will talk about, is that number one, we're all united in this invisible force, which is creative, that we're already one in universal mind, and we can actually do anything. And number 2 is that we are centers in this mind, and it's a sum total of all of our thoughts that are either silently attracting our good, or it's repelling it away from us. And the third is that we can change our thinking, and in doing so, cause this law of good to act affirmatively for us instead of negatively. Doesn't that sound good? It's just, we have the power. We have this creative power within us and around us and through us. And that's the thing. The law is really impersonal. It doesn't care who you are or what you think. It responds to the impress of your thoughts. And so today we're going to learn to kind of bring our thoughts more conscious, and so we can purposefully, with intention, create the life that we really want to experience in this world. And so that first point is that we are surrounded by this creative mind that reacts to our thoughts. And it's the basis of all faith and all of effective prayer. And so that's why Jesus said that when we pray, we should believe that we already have that which we desire. When we pray, we should believe that we already have that which we desire. And as Dr. Holmes loves to say, which I think is really the foundation of this entire teaching of Science of Mind, is when Jesus said, it is done unto us as we believe. It's done unto us as we believe. That implies that this power can and will and must react to us and for us. It has no option, no choice, except to react the way that we think. And so it's just important for us to really guard our thinking and pay attention to our thinking. So it's very simple, right? But sometimes it's not so easy. Jesus said, simply and directly, there's a power that operates on our belief and the way that we believe. And so we need to be sure that we believe that we already have that which we desire. And then that law of good is going to bring it about. And so doesn't that require a bit of faith? You know, we have to have faith in our conviction and acceptance that there really is this law and that it is good and that it is reactive to our thoughts and our desires. And I love the metaphor he used. It's about a mirror. So it's like we look in a mirror, and that the law is when we look at it, it reflects back our image, right? Is that easy? Or like the law of gravity, I know we talk about a lot. It's like when we drop something, it's going to fall down, at least on our atmosphere here on Earth. But so to understand that there's this impersonal, invisible, all-powerful law that can really bring to us that which we desire. That's powerful. That's power. It's a good reminder. I think we go through our life and we kind of wonder about it. It's like, why do things happen the way they are? Why is our world the way it is? You know, but then we realize that we have the power within ourselves, within our mind, to do something different. And so that's that second point, that we are thinking and active centers in this mind, and that the sum total of all of our thoughts are either attracting or repelling things to us. So doesn't that make you want to pay attention to your thoughts, you know, to pay attention? And it's interesting, Dr. Holmes pointed out, he loves science, right? It's called the science of mind for a reason. And he pointed out that about 90% of our thinking is unconscious, right? 90% is unconscious. And so his studies were back from the 1950s. And we have more recent studies that prove exactly what he said, more here in the 2024, 2025, that we have this unconscious patterns, but sometimes that a lot of our thoughts are negative. And so again, as we're learning about that law of attraction, this invisible power, what we're creating, what are we creating, and what do we want to create? And there's also studies I learned in ministerial school that about 85% of our health challenges are as a result of our beliefs and our thinking. It's more psychological than anything physical that is happening in our lives. So again, all this is great evidence to prove that how powerful it is to have positive thinking and positive thoughts. And this just reminded me as I was reading through this, when I was back in college, days. I went to the University of Michigan and studied psychology. I just love the study of thoughts in the brain and the personalities and the human. I was just aren't humans fascinating, right? We're all just so fascinating. And I loved it. But I heard of another law that we don't talk about too much here. It's called Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law. And Wikipedia said that it's essentially, if something is going to go wrong, it will. And I started focusing. I was becoming obsessed with Murphy's Law. You know, I've been doing a research study for one of my classes, and no one would show up when I was going to, or walk by me when I was going to hand out a survey to do interviews. I'm like, oh my gosh, Murphy's Law, they're not going to show up. And so I started repeating this. Okay, think about spiritual principle. But then I called it Murphy was my friend Murph, you know. And I was in class one day and I had to leave early. It was an English class and the professor was handing our papers back. And I got to go early. I said, Murphy's Law, my paper's going to be at the bottom of that stack. The teacher grabbed at the bottom of the stack and there was my paper. I'm like, and so little did I know, I started using Murphy's Law as spiritual law. And so I was able to kind of create what I wanted, but say, Murphy's Law. But so it's just a really powerful law to understand what we're doing. And, and Ernest Holmes talks about, that all of this, that when we change our thinking, we can change our lives and we can change how that law of mind can act in our lives, just like I did with Murphy's Law. But it's really about our faith. It's the power of our faith. And to know that good is more than the negative, that the power of good is so much greater than negative. And so if we can understand, and as he started off, there's a power for good in the universe, greater than we are, and we get to use it. It's greater than anything. And so to me, when I hear that, I feel like I'm floating in one of Raheem's songs. It's like, I'm being protected and loved, and I'm safe, and I'm floating in this power for good. And learning how to create what I do want. And so just like that lovely reading that we learned from Dr. Ernestina with Louise Hay. So Louise Hay, did you know she was a religious science mind minister? She came out of New York, and she was Dr. Raymond Charles Barker, who is one of the esteemed leaders of the movement, was her teacher. So she became a practitioner and she became a teacher. And it was from that she wrote her book, what a good time to not think of the name of her book, but it was a good book, I'm sure. There it is. You Can Heal Your Life. So sorry, And so there's a practice she talked about, and it is called mirror work. And perhaps you've read a little bit of Louise, and perhaps you've heard about mirror work. And it really is about self-healing and self-love. And when you actually look in the mirror, just like that law that Ernest talked about, that reflection, to look at that reflection of yourself, and to really talk to yourself with love. Last week, the Revs talked about raising your inner child. And I just think that this would be such a great practice of how to raise and to love and support our inner child is by doing some mirror work. And by doing that, it helps us to break down self-criticism and negative self-talk and develop self-acceptance and compassion, to heal old emotional wounds and limiting beliefs, and to build confidence, inner peace, and self-worth. And so it's just, if you're comfortable with this, it does take a bit of courage to do. I have definitely done this over the years and have found it to be very powerful spiritual work, because we're healing. If 90% of our beliefs are unconscious, for us to go and to heal them, to bring it more to consciousness, and to really tune into the good that is all around us. And to look into your own eyes and say things like, I love you. I really love you. I'm willing to learn to love myself. I am worthy of love and joy. And just to see how that feels, because a lot of times it can feel uncomfortable at first, but just the more we do it, and I will share an example. So like when life has just, been a challenge, shall we say, and I've been a puddle, just crying. Kind of the last situation you want to look in the mirror where you're crying. I've learned to look in the mirror at myself with compassion and with love and say, did you do your best? Are you doing your best right now? And in my tears, I go, yeah, I'm doing my best. Yes, I'm doing my best. And it can just really help. We can truly parent our inner child and give ourselves that love that we need. But we're using these spiritual principles that are so foundational to shift and change who we are and what we're doing. I have a dear friend who actually is by you folks, Reverend Jody Stevenson. And what she uses is a technique calling mind maps. Mind maps. Maybe you've heard of them. But it's just so simple, but it's so powerful. It's setting an intention for what's going on in your life. So you take a piece of paper and you would draw a circle in the middle and you'd put like my ideal self, or an example for me is my ideal relationship or partnership. Because my soul was yearning for this beautiful, perfect love. And I had to do a bit of healing work so I could be the person that I would want to attract, right? With that law of attraction, I had to be that first. And so I took the circle and then I started drawing a line from it and say, I want someone who's caring and loving, honest, has laughs and have fun, that we connect with each other deeply, that volunteering and doing good things for the world, kind, prosperous, abundant, joyful. I mean, so you can kind of fill that up with whatever's going on in your life. Maybe it's a career. Now, what are the qualities of your ideal career that you can kind of spin off on your mind map? And because I'm hiring people right now at the Science Mind Archives, and our Missouri team, we have just a great Colorado team. Now we're going to have a Missouri team. Who do I want them collaborative? I want them to be able to work well as a team, but also work well independently. I want them to be brilliant in their skill set, but we're supportive as a team. We have fun and get her done, And so that's just kind of another wonderful tool that we can use these spiritual principles that we're talking about today. It's a concrete way we can do it and use it in our lives. Dr. Holmes had that we have to talk about. We have to change our beliefs and our faith. We have to really kind of clear that house. And so to really have practice affirmative prayer daily, right? I mean, that's why we're here, to really do accentuate the positive and eliminate the negative. So the third tool I'm going to give you are some affirmations, in addition to the ones you can find at CSL North Metro and the website. These are some beautiful affirmations that Dr. Holmes suggested. Like, I do have faith. I do have conviction. I do believe. I do understand and know that there's a power greater than I am. I do believe that I can use it and there's nothing in me, that can doubt, deny, or limit that power. My whole being accepts it both consciously and subconsciously. And if we do this, we're preparing our minds to pray affirmatively. And so that way our prayers are much more effective, right? Because when we pray, we're doing it in our mind. Even if we're praying for someone else, it's really in the oneness of all there is. It's in our minds that we have that faith, we have that clarity, we have that power, that we know that the situation can be and is transformed right here and right now. So I'm going to invite you right now to just out loud or to yourself say, I do have faith. I do have conviction. I do believe. I do understand and know there's a power greater than I am. And I do believe that I can use it. There is nothing in me that can doubt, deny, or limit that power. And my whole being accepts it, both consciously and subconsciously. Just breathe that in and just feel that deeply. Wow. So I am going to, as we move towards a close, I have another clip of Dr. Ernest Holmes, and that I'd like to share. And so we have, as we have prepared our consciousness and our minds, let us hear what Dr. Holmes has to say about this.
This is the way that thought works. And realizing that so much of our thought is unconscious, we merely affirm that there is nothing in us that denies the good we have affirmed. Now, having done this, we are ready to entertain the next basic concept and see if we cannot actually bring ourselves to believe that we do right now have in the present, in our experience, the good that we desire, even though we do not see any possible way for it to happen. This also can be reduced to a simple method. You can say to yourself, if you wish to, and I can, if I accept this good, I do believe in it. I do affirm the presence of love and friendship and happiness, of prosperity, of health, of peace, whatever the need may be. And nothing can deny it or reject it. Now, millions of people have proven this to be true. So you can, so I can. And you will find, after you have done this for a while, there will come into your mind a gradual acceptance of your own affirmation. And you will learn that as your thought builds up an affirmative attitude, things will begin to change in your environment. It may take a little while to change this. It may take a little time to change your own thought. You may have to develop a lot of courage. Knowing what you're dealing with, however, will give you a positive and definite something which you see and know and understand and actually can use right where you are. This then is using the creative power of your thought affirmatively. And since you are doing this consciously, and since you are directing your own thinking, it is just a question of choice and of practice. Every day you will find it a little easier. And as you gradually see the result of the creative power of your thought, you will come more and more to accept your own conclusions, more and more to trust in the method that you are using, and you will be fulfilling the greatest single teaching perhaps the world has ever had, that there is a power for good in the universe greater than you are, and that you can use it.
For more spiritual content like this, visit scienceofmindarchives.com.
I didn't mean for that little infomercial, but there you go. Spirit wanted that to be shared. So anyways, so thank you so much today. And so again, hopefully there's some spiritual practices that you can take with you during the week. Maybe do some mirror work, talk to that inner child. Give her or him, your beloved, a lot of love. Maybe get a mind map. Just take some sacred time. Listen to some Rahim music. Set that space and just tune into spirit and just say, what is spirit here to tell me about this situation? And let spirit talk and put the spokes off your wheel. Speak some affirmations, affirmative, just really declare this power for good is there, that you do have faith and conviction and believe. And just, you know what? And if you need to, Jesus or Buddha is still around to take the wheel from you and help you out, because that invisible power for good is absolutely with us. And so let's move into that time of prayer. Just breathing into the essence of this time together. The readings, the music, the message. And just knowing that there really is only that one God, that one invisible presence that's all good. And that's for us and not against us. And in the oneness of all there is, we have the power to create and co-create that which we do want in our lives with clarity and light and affirmation and joy. And that we do create the life of our dreams, the relationships, the work, just the day to day. We have that power, and that invisible power loves and supports us. So I know as we move along in our week, in our life, that Spirit guides us in that divine flow in every way. And we just deeply affirm it and anchor it by saying, and so it is. Ashe, aho, amen, and woo-hoo, to quote a spiritual leader here.
And through it all, that takes us to a place where we can really shine through those practices and through the different mindsets. We feel connected. We feel connected to ourselves, you know. I am light, streaming, beaming through our world. You are light, streaming, beaming through this world. And here we go. Shine, are we even in the darkness? Shine, oh, we are light. Shine, are we even in the darkness? Shine, oh, we are light. We are light. We are light, but we're also even more. We are life. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. On a more upbeat note, upbeat vibrations.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job, Raheem.
Thank you all.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
A beautiful message.
Oh,
Thank you, Reverend Masrion.
Really.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
I have to be here.
Good tools.
Yeah, we need tools for our toolkit for life,
Uh-huh.
for sure. You know, and that mind map is so powerful. And I didn't say the end of the story. I did. I absolutely found my soulmate, my love. I mean, we used it to find our house. We made mind maps, everything. And we just do it on anniversary dates, like it's like a new beginning to start fresh. What do we want to create? And so it's just a quick, easy, but very powerful tool.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
You said something earlier about you have to be it to receive it.
Yes.
And that's such a it's so profound, to not just aspire, but to really kind of walk in the shoes of it, whatever it is. And that's the vibration, the frequency we create that somehow will match the rest of whatever we're walking into or attracting. I just love that so much. But it's also very convicting, because then sometimes you can't blame, like why aren't we there, and or why am I this, why am I not that, and then the arrows that, the mirror kind of reflects like, oh, I need to be it more. I need to cultivate that in myself in order to attract it more, so I love the message. So.
Oh, thank you. It's very powerful. So that is what I did with my mind map. Is I had it in my bathroom by my mirror, and I said, "Am I all those things? Am I those things that which I want to attract?" And then I'd add more lines to it. But again, I had to be that, and it honestly it works. So thank you, Rahim. A beautiful catch. That was an important catch that you shared. So thank you.
nice.
And all I have to say is that I love the teaching, the principles. I love service, and I always get and hear what I need. So thank you all.
Oh,
Nice.
awesome. Thank you. Oh. Well, there
I
you go.
find I sometimes that like early in the morning we try to do our spiritual practices, but then sometimes I'm looking at my phone or thinking about the day, and I start moving and eating and getting my coffee and and I forget that it would make my life so much more efficient and happy and just
Powerful.
fulfilling, powerful. If I sit down and take the time to read our dailies and to meditate and all those spiritual practices first, because I know my day goes a lot better. Really.
Nice.
So,
That's
good.
a great awareness. That's good. We can remind ourselves that helps too. Or I actually have been putting alerts on my phone. Speaking of using technology, I'll pick like 7 a.m. It's time to do our meditation, or before bed, to go to bed counting our blessings, quite literally, and then to wake up in gratitude are just so powerful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to put on my mirror that there is a power for good, and it is greater than I am.
Yes.
And I can use it because I need that daily reminder at this time. And then the second thing I wanted to say is I love the affirmations that you gave from Holmes. And we don't have to do it right now. We can close the service and get back on the talk, but I do want to have access because I couldn't write it all that fast. And so, yeah. So anyway, those were some things that I loved about the service.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll put them in the Facebook chat for people, and also I'll send it out here too, on email to everyone.
Okay, because I don't do Facebook.
Yep. Or
That'd be
YouTube.
great.
Yeah. Well, thank you, everyone. And I think people are welcome to join us afterwards on StreamYard.
Yep.
You
Are
just
we
stay
doing that?
around.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep.
People
If
can
anybody's watching, which we do have one viewer right now, so when we're done and go offline, they're welcome to join us with that link that's in the comments.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Greg and Sheila. You inspire me with your flow and how smooth it is. And so thank you, everyone. What a divinely perfect service for today. Rahim, Dr. Ernestina, everyone, so grateful. And you, all the people out there watching. And we just know that Reverend Michael and Reverend Valley are just breathing that sigh of relief and just feeling joy. And so we're just going to move into that place for our benediction of just feeling joy, feeling in that divine flow, feeling that power for good, loving and supporting us, where we just feel so safe that we can be who we were meant to be on this planet, to shine our light, to be that light and life, and to just radiate on the world. And so we are now getting that clarity. And now in this moment, we are attracting that which we want, that which we seek. We already are. We're attracting peace on the planet, peace in our hearts, kind people wherever we meet that just smile, that we share a smile, they share a smile, and we just lift the world up in that light and love and kindness and peace. Peace on earth right here and right now. We move forth in our week carrying on the wings of spirit, of the wings of joy, and just watch the magic and miracles unfold in all that we do, knowing it is good and very good. And I release these words into the law, knowing it is done and brought back forth in ways beyond anything we could dream. And we are open to receive that good. And we bless it by saying, and so it is.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Reverend Kathy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful.
So I'll put up the little bookend of our service here and play this little ditty, and then we'll be all back right here to talk.
Sounds good.
It'll be offline.
Good.
See you in a minute.